Hola clase! This lesson is going to be on if clauses or si clauses. The learning objectives are that you will be able to describe the different uses of the if clauses in Spanish, including certain, likely, and hypothetical situations, and that you will be able to determine whether the present indicative or imperfect subjunctive is needed based on what you find in the independent and dependent clauses. So let's start by saying that it's very rare to use the present subjunctive following an if clause. For example, no sé si él está en casa o no. We use the present indicative following the si clause in this example. So now let's look at the first conditional. We use the first conditional when something is likely. We use si plus the present tense plus the present tense when the situation is regarded as very likely, things that happen regularly when conditions are met. Si llueve, no salgo. If it rains, I don't go out. So for these kinds of clauses, you can reverse the order. Si llueve, no trabajamos. No trabajamos, si llueve. Present indicative, present indicative. Use si with the present tense plus the present tense also for things that are likely or considered likely to take place. Si entiendes español, puedes leer el periódico nicaragüense La Prensa. If you understand Spanish, and it's likely, implied likely, or that I think that you can read the Nicaraguan newspaper La Prensa. In these examples, it's important to understand that it's the perspective of the speaker. If the speaker believes that it's likely to happen, then we're going to use the present indicative. Use si with the present tense and then the future tense for events that will occur in the future if the condition is met in the present. Si llueve, todavía saldré. If it rains, I will still go out. And also, this is still considered to be a likely or very likely occurrence. Use si with the present tense and then an imperative or command when giving orders and it's being based on the condition being met, again in the present. So, si llueve, no salgas. So if it rains, and then into the command form, no salgas, don't go out. So now let's look at what is called the second conditional, which is hypothetical situations. We use si with the imperfect subjunctive and then the conditional for hypothetical situations in the future and for present situations that are contrary to fact or highly unlikely. Si lloviera, no saldría. If it were to rain, I would not go out. Si lloviera is the imperfect subjunctive, and then no saldría is the conditional. So again, this is also based on the perspective of the speaker. It's seen as fairly unlikely, very unlikely. I don't think for 1 minute that it's going to rain. Another example would be, si tuviera el dinero, iría contigo. If I had the money, I'd go with you. And I definitely don't have the money. I don't have it, so I can't go. So here's a little bit of extra information. Como si is always followed by the past subjunctive. Los adolescentes hablan como si tuvieran todas las respuestas. Teenagers talk as if they had all the answers. So just remember that there's always options here. So this is just one way to say some of these examples that we've gone over. Of course, in the real Spanish-speaking world, you're going to find lots of different ways to say these sentences. No sé si vengan, or vendrán, or vienen José y María. I don't know if José and Maria will come. I don't know if they would come. I don't know if they are going to come. ¿Quién sabe si tales cosas siquiera existen or existan? Who knows if these things even exist? So just remember that each choice will likely have a slightly different nuance, especially to a native speaker's ear. By changing the tense of the verb or the mood of the verb, it's going to have a slightly different meaning. No sé si tengan hambre. I don't know if they're going to be hungry. No sé si tienen hambre. I don't know if they are hungry. No sé si tendrán hambre. I don't know if they will be hungry. All of those sentences express the same idea, more or less, but with different verbs, it's going to have a slightly different meaning. So time to check yourself. Are you able to describe the different uses of the if clauses in Spanish, including certain, likely, and hypothetical or unlikely situations? And can you determine if you need the present indicative or the imperfect subjunctive form of the verb based on what we found in the independent and dependent clauses? If so, you've done great. Adios.